Yo. Hold on. I actually, that was mad loud. Let me see if the audio Gucci or not. It's a late stream, you know what I'm saying? Late, but great. You know, let me check the audio. Yo, what's happening? Yo. Let's see. Yo, yo, yo. Hey. Hey. Okay. So I hear it. What is money we making? Whoa, sanction. RP Lee fails, bro. RP Lee fails. Look at the money we making. Oh, sanction. Look at that money we making. Oh, sanction. Alright, Gucci. Alright, bet. Now just make sure everything okay, everything alright. You know what I'm saying? I just been grinding with the content lately, you know? I'm just make sure things is, you know, moving smoothly, you know. Let me do a little freestyle. Since we waiting. Okay. Secure, yeah. My flow, it's just pure, yeah. You soft like some fur. I do the fur, you better concur. I'ma conquer the game, I'ma go insane. Yeah, I'm tryna go brain, gotta move sane. Pull up in your lane, I don't know, give me change. I'ma change, I'ma pull up with that thing. Hit your brain, so insane in the membrane. Ooh, I snatch your chain. Would I look good? You not from the hood. You just understood. Yeah, you was just a brat. You ain't talking that. Why you talking? Why you talking that? Why you? Why they Gay boys is rats, Why they talking, why they talking like they, why they talking like got a guy, but up on me they can get flat, yeah, flannel's back, yeah, we tag, we move tag, yeah, well, we bend blocks, yeah, we send shots, yeah, at your top, I won't stop, I'ma pop like a rock, I'ma drop, I won't drop styles, yeah, I'm just chillin', I'm chillin' for a while, yeah, this is my son, yeah, he child, yeah, I don't care to smile, not in a while, leave body pals, yeah, who's around, yeah, got the rounds, yeah. Think it's sweet? You think sweet? I'm gonna I got drum of the, I got that drum in the clip and I pull up on you and then pull it with sticks. I don't really care for this. I'm trying to do this, yeah. And we got new clips, pull on you this. You get your wig split, you already did nah. Trying to get the dance on. I just realized I ain't even okay, now it's good. I be wildin', I be stylin', I be so stylish, yeah, go live, let me see I go live on Rumble at the same time. Okay, yeah, my flow's hot, yeah, it's propane, yeah, that boy me stiffin' off cocaine, yeah, go back, it'll go back, yeah, go on the track, yeah, I be running laps, on the track, yeah, I'm on track, if it's not on that, it's gonna get clap, you ain't gonna get wet, yeah, better call dispatch, yeah, better take that dispatch, before you get it, before you get hit, get your wig split. I don't really care. Tony clips, I'ma hit you with that semi-speed lemon, speed banana. Whoa, that sound crazy. Yeah, rockin' to sleep like a baby. Yeah, homie pull up Mercedes. My brody pull up Mercedes. Yeah. Let me see my hold on, y'all. On live a Rumble too, so let me see my Rumble doing good. Yo, hold on. Let me see my Rumble doing good. Hold on. See if I can hear everything. Alright, bet. That's cool. It's Gucci. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Need a spot, gooey. Hold on. Wait. That's some kind of mookie. Wait. I'ma make a movie, yeah. I'ma use my toolie, yeah. I ain't no handy man. I'm tryna make them dance, yeah. That boy talking crazy, but he ran, yeah. I got like I wanna jam, yeah. I was like, damn, I'm the man. That nigga blew the spot, I pull up with a Glock, I put him over the Glock, get shot from the boy. I'ma knock him his top, Yeah, yeah. Talking to cops, talking to cops, making it hot. Yeah, I got a drop at a spot. I got a knocks. Get on gone, get on dead. Yeah, he talking to the feds. Pillow talking. Yeah, we gon' hawk him. Yeah, we gon' white chalk on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Caution, caution. I got some hits in Boston. Yeah, I do it often. Yeah, I do not take no losses. Yeah, throwing bullets Randy Mawson. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just tossing. I'm just tossing. Yeah, yeah. I'm doing crazy. I'm doing running. Yeah, Red Robin. Yeah, we gon' rob him. Yeah, yeah. We gon' sock him. We gon' clap him. We gon' drop him. Yeah, 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 yeah. That boy is a cop. That boy is a cop. That boy is a op. Why you talking? Why you talking crazy? Yeah, you is not. Yeah, acting like a lady. Talking all that shady. Hello, done. Alright.
Bastards can rise more.
Yeah, they go. It is smooth. I don't know what to do. Pull up with that. Pull up with that tool. Y'all be acting fool. Y'all be acting fool. And I be acting cool. I be on my move. I be on my mojo. Yeah, I'm gonna no bro. Yeah, I be like no bro. Yeah, she's a hodo. I'm like hop in that on that go go. Hop in that go go. Yeah, yeah, he get a no scope. Yeah, I'm like, hold on. I'm just like, go. Yeah, yeah, I'm on the road. Yeah, yeah, ain't talking, ain't taking a flow. Yeah, yeah. What's goody? I'm like, hey, bigger with that hoodie. Yeah, shout Jake. Act fake, then act fake. Yeah, yeah. I don't care about the hate. Yeah, I'm put a. Yeah, I ain't talking OVO. Pull out the black with a trait. Yeah, think goofy fake. Yeah, yeah. He with his fate. Yeah, that's on him. Yeah, flexing like the gym. Flexing like I go to the gym. Yeah, I don't care what you do with him. Yeah, y'all boy fake. Yeah, get on my face. Get on my way. Yeah, on my spray. Yeah, yeah. Chop the boy like lace. Chop the boy like some food. I don't really care if I'm rude. I'm trying to get to the blues. I'm trying to get to the dividends. Yeah, why you chew him? Why you gonna chew him? You gonna get killed with him. Yo, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Alright. So let's start. I'm really. Let's see what we got. Whoa. Whoa. Doing a little dual stream action right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm on Twitch and I'm on Rumble. My Rumble is DJ Child 24. Okay, let's go. Let's see what's where my playlist at, bruh? Okay, bet. Alright. Where's my place at? It's in my head today. I gotta go to my sister's senior night.
Welcome.
It's pretty cool. She was cheering for the basketball team. They did, what was it, like 50 to like 24, I think, or something like that. It was something. They got spanked. But the other team defense though, it was trash though. The other team's defense was trash. Okay, let's see what it's talking about. MMA on point. Talk some MMA.
Yes, another year down in the world of MMA, and that of course means it's time to crown some winners. We compiled the top athletes in all top categories for Fighter of the Year, Fight of the Year, and some of the most epic moments, and asked a simple question: what was the very best?
Oh my goodness, he's gonna... What? Scottish Twister!
And this year we've polled both fans and teamed up with Tommy, myself, and...
What's up, guys? It's the Casual, Lawton Veerkamp. What's up?
Came out of nowhere.
So let's jump right in. These are the 2025 MMA On Point Fan Choice Awards.
Our first category is Best Career Comeback. The nominees are Petr Yan,
Not only did he come back to win the title over a guy who was putting together a record-breaking Hall of Fame year with his title defenses, but to do it 5 years after his first title reign, overcoming a 3-fight losing streak at one point, overcoming a loss to Merab in their last fight. Incredible year.
Mackenzie Dern,
Dern was on a 2-fight losing streak in 2024 before managing to get a win over Lupe Godinez. Then she got her revenge over Amanda Ribas and also managed to win her first world title in a fight many saw her losing, all making for a fantastic turnaround.
Yuri Prohaska,
Yuri Pro lost to Alex Pereira twice within a 7-month span, and that head kick finish was the last we saw of him until 2025. But then he bounced back, finishing Khalil Roundtree in a Fight of the Year candidate, and doing the same to Jamal Hill in January, pretty much establishing himself as the elite of the division, and maybe even getting himself a forthcoming third title fight in the process.
and Benoit Saint Denis.
Saint-Denis.
Damn it, this is gonna take forever.
He pretty much got kicked down the ladder by losing to two vets in Dustin Poirier and Renato Moicano, effectively slowing his 2024 hype train to a crawl. But in 2025, he came back in full force, finished all 3 of his opponents, including the soaring...
Yeah, I think it might be Saint Denis for sure.
Contender Beneil
I think it's Saint
And the
Denis.
winner is Petr Yan with 77.
Oh yeah, Yan. Damn, yeah. That was a crazy. Yeah, he's a champ. Now he one of the best fighters of all time, in my opinion. Jan's definitely up there, for sure.
0.9% of the fan vote.
Yeah, for all the reasons stated above, Yan was the obvious winner here. Just hard to top what he did against who was quickly becoming a top candidate for the greatest bantamweight in the sport's history. If we have disagreements, we will mention them later on, just FYI, but it's pretty hard to disagree here. And quickly, there were a ton of honorable mentions. Alex Hernandez has been through the ringer ever since his infamous Cowboy Cerrone loss, but for the first time in 8 years, on a win streak, and with 4 at the moment. Also, Vitor Petrino had a really rough 2024, but his move to heavyweight has proven extremely successful already. There are plenty more we could talk about as honorable mentions, but those were for sure the best alternative candidates.
And next up is the Breakthrough Fighter of the Year. The nominees are Peyton Talbot,
Talbot started the year off with a rough loss, but not only bounced back with 2 wins, he managed to put on a showcase performance against one of the true greats in Henry Cejudo in a real showcase and star-making performance.
Michael Morales,
Morales managed to make a resounding statement, emerging from the top 15 and blazing into title contention by managing to run through Sean Brady, who was on the cusp of a title shot, without a doubt emerging as a star at 170 pounds.
Anthony Hernandez,
Since 2021, Hernandez has managed to do incredible things in his 8-fight win streak that was kicked off by subbing an IBJJF world champion in Rodolfo Vieira, and now he has established himself as a very clear title contender. It really helps that he also beat Brendan Allen in 2025, considering his recent win over RDR that was also supposed to establish a top title contender.
and Joshua Van.
Second youngest UFC champion ever. Pretty much says it all about Joshua Van. The guy was not ranked at the beginning of the year, but that Brandon Royval Fight of the Night performance showed he was more than ready for a title shot, making for one of of the most impressive 2025 career campaigns.
And the winner is Joshua Van with 57.2% of the fan vote.
This one is another one that is extremely hard to argue with. He's got a crazy exciting fight style and won a title regardless of the circumstances. What a breakthrough year for Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua Van, he would have beat Tentoja anyway.
Include Bogdan Guskov, who ended the year well, but perhaps
Let's be honest.
with the draw with Jan Blachowicz. Waldo Cortez Acosta definitely came out of nowhere with his two big finishes, despite the anti-D'Elia controversy. And how about Melquizael Costa? He's without a doubt on his way up the ranks very quickly with 4 wins and that spectacular finish of Morgan Charrier.
Upset of the year. The nominees are Piotr Jan versus Merab Dvalishvili,
Everyone thought Piotr Jan's title years were behind him after that 3-fight losing streak. Merab had already beaten him, and the odds reflected how people thought about this one. But we were all wrong. Piotr Jan didn't just do it, but beat Merab impressively.
Hayoni Barcelos versus Peyton Talbot.
Numbers-wise, Hayoni Barcelos was literally the biggest betting underdog of the year to surprise
Damn.
everyone with a win over Peyton Talbot. It's even aged more curiously with Talbot's win over Henry Cejudo.
Johnny Walker versus Ming Yang Zhang.
Be honest, how many people saw Johnny Walker doing what Corey Anderson did to him back in 2019 to current hype train Ming Yang Zhang?
And Costello Van Steenis versus Johnny Eblin.
Since PFL has acquired Bellator, nearly all of their major stars have left, but one of the few champions to stay behind and continue winning has been Johnny Eblin, who is still very much in his prime. So when Costello Van Steenis challenged him for the PFL middleweight title after having lost to Douglas Lima and John Salter in recent years, no one saw that rear naked choke coming.
And the winner is Jan versus Dvalishvili with 57.8% of the fan vote.
Yeah, we totally agree with this fan vote as well, because while the odds makers had Hayoni Barcelos as the biggest betting underdog, we've seen a lot of prospects lose over the years, and in hindsight, it's not as surprising as perhaps the most dominant bantamweight champion ever getting classed out by Piotr Jan when most thought his best years were already behind him. There are some great honorable mentions for this one as well. Ewing versus Wellmaker on such short notice is just wild, but it wasn't the biggest betting underdog.
feel like
nor was it
Barcelos,
a main event or a
because
title
no one
fight.
thought Barcelos was
Lots
going
of
to win.
conversation, but it was hard to include in the top 4. Cortez Acosta taking out Ane D'Elia was without a doubt a big shocker and shows why 2025 was such a big year for Acosta. And Van versus Pantoja was certainly an upset, but the circumstances are probably the most shocking aspect of that win rather than Van's ability to win. Everybody thought he had a chance already.
Submission of the year. And the nominees are Jean Silva versus Bryce Mitchell,
Jean Silva showed a lot of wrinkles to his game over 2025 despite a tough loss. We knew he could finish on the feet, but subbing a submission specialist like Bryce Mitchell with a ninja choke in a high-pressure fight, most impressive.
Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley,
Part of what made Merab's year so big, apart from the number of defenses themselves, was the creativity he infused into his game and how he mixed several submission ideas together to create what's been dubbed the machine choke.
Jake Hadley versus Mateus Matos,
Speaking of creativity, it's hard to find a more creative submission than an ultra-rare submission to begin with. But then it's an even more rare modification on top of it, and that's what Jake Hadley did, scoring a Scottish twister over Mateus Matos.
Okay, yeah, that's
Dan
crazy.
Hardy on commentary a bit stumped.
There's a Scottish twister here for sure. If I knew the technique, I might be able to explain it to you better. He's got it! Oh my goodness, he's gonna...
That's crazy.
and Fluffy Hernandez versus Roman Delice.
Oh, that was
a
aura.
violent submission if there
That
ever
was
one.
nah,
Fluffy
that was
Hernandez literally dragging
that
Roman
man
Delice
aura.
along the canvas in a rear naked choke does not
Like, bro, like he was spanking the whole fight, and then he just like you got your little brother in a headlock, and he was like tapping, and then he just dropped. Yo, that was crazy, bro. He did him dirt, bro.
get much more exciting than that.
That
And
was
the winner
crazy.
is Jean Silva's ninja choke over Bryce Mitchell with a 32%
was cool.
fan vote.
Yeah, I don't think any of these options are a bad choice for winner, as they are all
I think
outstanding.
Hernandez
For me,
got
I'd
it.
like to see
I think
the
Hernandez is way
creativity
better.
personally, so maybe a slight disagreement leaning towards the Scottish Twister from Jake Hadley. There are literally about 10 honorable mentions I could put together here as all serious contenders for submission of the year. Walter Walker is hard to ignore, heel hooking literally 3 people this year. Amasov's Anaconda over Neil Magny, Del Valle's breathtaking rear naked choke over Isaac Dolgarian, everyone loved that one. And oh look, this insane triangle key lock as it's dubbed in one championship.
You can see she's triangled up, both arms in, and then she starts to work, cranking the shoulder in that Americana position.
Next up is knockout of the year. And the nominees are Ilia Topuria over Charles Oliveira,
Moving up a weight class and finishing
It might be
Charles
Ilya.
Oliveira in a way we've never
Who
seen
else got a
before,
knockout?
all while
That
at
was
the
really
highest
good.
level is nothing short of a breathtaking KO from Ilia Topuria.
Mauricio Rufy over King Green,
Mauricio
was-
Rufy landed
yeah,
one
that
of
was
the most
really good.
spectacular KOs we've ever seen with that spinning back kick over King Green.
Carlos Praches over Leon Edwards,
Carlos Praches literally defied gravity with his airborne KO of Leon Edwards, something we've never seen done to Edwards in his career to date.
and a fucking name I don't know how to say.
He's just
Oh,
Australian, so it's
that was
actually
good.
pretty
That was
phonetic.
good.
Krillin Southkill.
and it was like when John Anik, he was like, his mom and dad own a bakery. Then he hits him in the heck. That was mad. That was mad funny. Yeah, I think it might go to Southwood or Ilya. The Ilya was just so violent, bro. I think Ilya, bro, because the dude Charles chin touched his knee, bro. That was brutal, bro.
There's no, yeah.
And Quillen Salkild versus Nasrat Hakparast.
Not much good came out of UFC 321, but wow, what a bright spot was that head
It's either
kick from
that
Quillen
or
Salkild.
And the winner is
Ilya.
Mauricio Rufy's KO over King
I
Green,
guess.
38.3%
Creative.
of the fan vote.
Yeah, how can you not agree with this one? A spinning back kick KO is incredibly rare, and this might be the most vicious one we've ever seen in the UFC, or at the very least, it's on par with Edson Barbosa's. But when it comes to honorable mentions, this was by far the toughest category. Lerone Murphy over Aaron Pico, BSD over John.
Yo, what? How? Yo, I forgot about that. How was the Ron Murphy's not the best? That was a knockout of the year for sure. He ran into that. Boom.
Ariush, Costa versus Cherrier, Kopp versus Royval on the exact same card, Nickel versus Vieira, Lopez versus Silva, Malcolm Wellmaker multiple times, the Rampage Slam from Elijah Smith over Kazama. Honestly, there is just way too much to mention here, but there are a few that maybe you didn't see, and I want to show you these. Like, how about this?
Hold on. I'll be back. Just gotta take a leak. banging it, danging it. You see, I've been aiming it, like it's slavery hanging on. Okay, that's crazy. Whatever. Banging it, danging it. You see it?
Absolutely insane one from Roberto Soldich in one. This absolutely melting KO against the cage of Ryzen.
Damn.
No joke, my favorite KO of the year might be Dwight Joseph over Wilkner in Samo.
Oh.
My God.
Oh my
And
goodness.
here comes the big one.
Okay, nah, that has to be the.
And the nominees are
That was
Yuri
crazy.
Prohaska versus Khalil Roundtree.
Basically, every fight Yuri Prohaska is in is a Fight of the Year candidate. The Jamal Hill fight is just as worthy to talk about here, but the comeback nature of this one combined with the spectacular finish just shows why this fight was incredible.
Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov 1.
The dynasty out of Dagestan has produced another outstanding talent in Usman Nurmagomedov, just as Ireland's Paul Hughes has produced another top talent from that region. One of the best title fights of the year that was back and forth until the final bell.
Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van.
That was the best fight of the year.
Announced, knowing Royval and Van's striking heavy styles, we knew this would be a top candidate. It
Fight of the year.
absolutely delivered with
Not
Royval
even close.
barely surviving to the end, but giving as good as he got.
And Jean Silva versus Diego Lopez.
It was hard to follow up the production value of the Sphere for Noche 2024, but none of that matters when the cage door is closed, and these two men more than delivered in the main event of Noche 2025.
The winner is Brandon Royval versus Joshua
Yeah,
Van with a
for
fucking
sure.
percentage I forgot. Brandon Royval versus Joshua Van with 43.3% of the fan vote.
Yeah, great pick from the fans on this one, and we fully agree. An instant classic. As for the honorable mentions, many mentioned Jan versus Merab, which was outstanding, but certainly a bit
Hold on,
too
let me
one-sided
see
rather
something.
than a knockdown, drag out, back and forth scrap. Certainly one of the best performances of the year, if not the best. Belov versus JDM was one few expected to be as fun as it was on both sides. A quick finish or a wrestle fest, but it was neither, thank God. Just a really fun title fight over the course of 5 rounds. And Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez was an absolute banger.
And moving on, female fighter of the year. And the nominees are Valentina Shevchenko.
2 title wins this year for the Bullet, and the big one also taking out another pound-for-pound great in Zhang Wei Li. This is about as good as a year can get for a fighter.
Kayla Harrison.
After 7 years of MMA competition and several championships in the PFL, Kayla Harrison has finally made the transition to the UFC and captured the bantamweight strap.
Mackenzie Dern.
Dern was always seen as a potential UFC star coming over from her BJJ World Championship days, and now she has captured the strawweight belt.
And Chris Cyborg.
To this day, Cyborg has only lost 2 fights in her entire career. It's already been 7 years since the Nunes loss, and in that time she's gained 2 titles in the PFL, with the 2nd belt captured just this month.
Damn, I didn't even know
Winner is
that.
Valentina Shevchenko with 65.8% of the fan vote.
Yeah, there was no mystery with this one. This was one of the biggest voting majorities for a winner on this show, and Shevchenko's no doubt earned it.
And here it is, male fighter of the year, and the nominees are
Fight of the year.
Wait, hang on, Lawton. We actually had a
Merab.
lot of issues with this one. A lot of people disagreed with our initial poll on this, so we actually had to expand it to 6 different people. And yeah, we'll kind of walk through this as we go. So.
Islam Makhachev.
Morale.
Not only did he win belts in 2 different weight classes, but managed to break records in the process. Against Tanato Moicano, Islam broke the record for lightweight title defenses that has stood since BJ Penn set it all the way back in 2009. Then he moved up and took out a very dangerous and scary champion in Jack Della Maddalena in a dominant performance.
Ilya Taporia.
The other male UFC champion to move up and capture a 2nd title was Ilya Taporia,
Taporia
and
was-
he did it sparking
yeah, that was
out one of the UFC's most durable fighters in the most devastating way we've ever seen anybody take out the beloved former champion.
Hamzat Chimaev.
Since 2020, championship aspirations for Hamzat have seen a lot of setbacks, but the dominance cannot be denied as he shut out Dricus du Plessis over the course of 5 rounds to become middleweight champion.
Yuya Wakamatsu.
Yuya Wakamatsu became champion in 1 by taking out 2 current champions in longtime Demetrius Johnson rival Adriano Moraes, finishing him in the 1st round, and also taking out the strawweight champion Joshua Pasio, who moved up in weight to challenge Yuyu, and he finished him as well.
Merab Dvalishvili
We didn't initially include Merab in our vote due to his loss at the end of the year, but the fans demanded we vote again with him included. That is how strong those 3 defenses in 2025 were, even with the loss.
And Piotr Jan.
Similar to Merab, we felt that Jan had to be included in the new vote since he beat the machine and had an incredible showcase performance doing so to cap off his stellar year.
And the winner is Merab the Wallace, really,
Yeah,
with
that makes sense.
49.1% of the fan vote.
Okay, so yeah, the people have definitely spoken here. Clearly, the resume was strong enough to not be knocked off the perch for Fighter of the Year, even with the loss to Piotr Jan. We didn't include him because of that last loss, as a loss is typically a disqualifying factor in most Fighter of the Year criteria. And yeah, I tend to think being a Fighter of the Year is about accomplishments, but this is the Fan Choice Awards, and you guys have spoken here, so it's not about what I think, is it? What do you think? It's actually about what Lawton thinks. We had Islam winning for our pick, and initially the fan vote did as well, but after the demand for the vote to be recast, Merab earned more than 20 percentage points over him. That is crazy. Joshua Van was also one fans mentioned to a lesser extent. It was an amazing year for him, enough to certainly get him Breakthrough Fighter of the Year. But I think the rematch with Pantoja will determine quite a lot about how we perceive that, because it was kind of a freak loss.
And finally, the Best Retirement of the Year award. The nominees are Henry Cejudo.
Man, what a way to go out with Cejudo biting down on the mouthpiece and looking to take Peyton Talbot's head off, showing he had no quit. A legendary career and an amazing final fight.
Like even tomorrow, man, I'm thinking about staying an extra day because I don't want my kids to see me like this. So, you know, this sport has humbled me. The sport has given me so much opportunity. I'm just super thankful.
Dustin Poirier.
This guy's career has come to mean so much more than merely fighting. Between his foundation, the rags to riches story, and the inspiring self-belief.
I definitely think fighting has opened the path to redemption for me.
Taking out the biggest star in the sport multiple times in Conor McGregor, and that gem of a final fight with Max Holloway was the perfect send-off.
The outreach this week has been incredible, and I really feel it, you know. I really feel it, and I'm just thankful that people got inspired or people follow my journey, and what a beautiful life. It's a beautiful story because I know the author. That's what it is.
Jose Aldo.
Technically the second retirement for Jose Aldo, but the return ended up being worthwhile as long as it lasted, and the final send-off absolutely was handled well by all involved.
And Dominic Cruz.
It is insane how durable some of the old WEC champions like Aldo and Cruz were transitioning to the UFC, and especially in Cruz's case, transcending eras to come back and win gold again after that long layoff, even fighting Cejudo in 2020 for one last title shot. There was no big ceremony in his case, as Cruz preferred to handle it on his own, but what a career.
The greatest moment in my life was realizing that I didn't need a belt to be happy.
And the winner is John Jones. Wow, what a segue into the main category awards. I mean, how do we rank those 4 retirements, really?
That was really great work. Well done.
Thanks.
Yep. Guys, we just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, really feeling it here in our chest, how incredible John Jones's retirement in particular was. It wasn't totally pointless, and he didn't waste everybody's time. John Jones, you won't be forgotten for all the wrong reasons. Fuck you. Get the hell out of here. You're not going to the White House. And by the way, guys, for these next few meme categories, there was no vote. These are just for fun, so we're just going to kind of go rogue here.
WTF Moment of the Year. And the nominees are Khabib versus Airline Lady.
Khabib might be undefeated in mixed martial arts, but he was up against perhaps his toughest match when a woefully inept airline host decided an all-time great couldn't handle his emergency seat duties.
It was rather than have you switch your seat because my flight attendants are not allowing you to sit next to row, or you're gonna have to get off this plane in the blind.
Joe Rogan versus Liver King.
The stars and sky aligned when the keeper of the 9 ancestral tenets forgot to shower for what appeared to be months on end and tried to stalk Joe Rogan in Austin, Texas, before finally being called a no contest by the cops. Dana rebooked this one. We gotta see it.
All of this is happening. We're coming to you. I've challenged you man to man to a fight. Honorable.
UFC Docs versus Pantoja.
240 frames per second of extreme slow motion detailing a horrific injury to the elbow of Alessandro Pantoja was no match for the superhuman eyesight of the UFC docs, who insisted that what we saw was a lie.
Update yet on Pantoja? Do we know what his status is?
Yeah, they popped his shoulder back in. I thought it was the elbow.
I did too.
No, it was not the elbow.
Shoulder?
It was his shoulder.
That's his shoulder, people. Don't question medicine, okay?
And GFL versus Common Sense.
You torpedo millions of dollars of interest in starting your very own MMA promotion? Well, simply put together one of the most incredible, most accurate, and reality-bending experiences AI has ever had to offer. The absolute geniuses at the GFL nearly would have pulled it off too if it wasn't for those meddling fans.
And the winner is John Jones. The answer to all these questions is John Jones.
Goddamn right. This is a serious portion of the video. Or, you know, the GFL. Yeah, probably just the GFL because they blew millions of dollars.
That's insane.
On the worst hype package of all time. Well done, guys. Well done.
The Take a Point Away Award.
You gotta take a point away now!
The nominees are Mike Malott versus Kevin Holland.
Apparently, 5 minutes of writhing on the ground in pain plus a minute break in between rounds wasn't enough to show referee Dan Mergliotta that Kevin Holland wasn't really in good enough shape to continue, let alone warrant a point taken.
Manel Kape versus Asu Almabayev.
How many times can you eye poke someone in about a minute's span before taking a point? Infinite. Mike Beltran's answer is clearly uncapped.
Macy Barber versus Karine Silva.
Oh no, an up kick happened multiple times? Oh, well, the ref said it's fine and we'll check the replay. Oh, the
yeah,
replay
it was
shows
mad
it
stupid.
was intentional and landed flush. It's too late to take a point now.
Ante D'Elia versus Waldo Cortez Acosta.
You know, actually, to be fair, restarting was a good call. Well done.
And the winner is Mike Malott versus Kevin Holland.
Yeah, I mean, this thing went on excruciatingly long and endless replays not to have a point taken. Well done, Dan Mergliotta.
And lastly, the worst pay-per-view main event.
It's not good.
The nominees are DDP versus Hamza.
Who needs
As recorded time.
submissions when you can just lay there?
DDP versus Strickland.
Who needs a haymaker when you can just iCarly your way to a lackluster split decision loss?
Islam versus JDM.
High-level defense and high-level offense, meaning pretty much nothing happened but the same sub-attempts failing for 25 minutes. Exhilarating.
And Aspinall versus Gone.
I mean, he should have continued. What a pussy.
What a loser, you know?
And the winner is absolutely no one, but at least those other fights ended, so Aspinall versus Gone it is.
And that's it, everybody. If you disagree, be sure to hit up those comments and tell us we suck balls and we're casuals, and that we don't belong in this space, and that we should find something else to make our entire lives about. Well, he doesn't work here anymore, but, you know, me and Tommy. Anyhow, have a great day. We'll catch you on the next video. Until the next time, peace.
It was a good video. Let's see. Hey. Hold on, let me peep. I accidentally posted something on my IG. That's funny, bro. Hey. see. I'm just checking if both streams is good, you know what I'm saying? Hey. Alright. Let's see. What do we have here? Okay, let's see.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the remastered 13th episode of Analyzing Evil.
I've never seen Zoo Face.
From American Psycho. I've been doing my remasters a bit out of order, but I've seen a lot of people requesting that I redo this one specifically, because I didn't talk about...
I saw that movie, I think it's, last year, like late last, before the year ended. And, I saw the last part. I don't remember seeing that last part of American Psycho. It was weird, bro. Cause, like, what's it called? If I'm not mistaken, so there was some stuff happening in his head or something. Like, he was going crazy at the end. Let me
about the book when I originally made the video, so I decided to give this one a bit of precedence over some of the other ones slated for a remaster. Just like with all my previous remasters, this video is meant to bring an update in quality to the original video, while rectifying any of the mistakes I made and providing you with insight into any information I left out last time around, which my coverage of the book here should accomplish quite handily. American Psycho and Patrick Bateman have become one of the most iconic stories and characters ever created. And this is yet another character that seeks to terrify viewers and readers with reality. The reality that a monster like Patrick Bateman could be sitting next to you right at this moment. The very definition of a wolf in sheep's clothing. Though we're treated to quite a lot of heinous acts throughout the film and the novel that seem to paint Patrick as a murderous deviant, his character is actually quite ambiguous, as there are many instances throughout the film and the novel that leave us with more questions than answers. And in an attempt to understand who exactly Patrick Bateman is, we're going to examine those questions and his character as a whole, so we can attempt to provide some clarity to some of the unknowns regarding Patrick, if that's even possible. But aside from being devilishly hip and brutally fashionable, one thing that has always stood out about Patrick is his complex daily care routine. And while his skincare regimen is quite daunting and complex, for you, my dear viewer, you can find your way to having the glowing skin you've always dreamed of.
Stop it. No more ads.
One thing I feel that I don't talk about often enough in these videos are the creation of these stories and the characters we find them in. And for American Psycho and Patrick Bateman, I believe delving into the story's creation provides us greater insight into its themes and his character. Bret Easton Ellis began writing American Psycho in 1986, finished in 1989, and published it in 1991. At the time he began writing, America had entered into an era of unprecedented consumerism and greed, the likes of which had never before been seen. This was the era of Gordon Gekko and the Wolf of Wall Street, when greed began to be seen as good and people as commodities to be taken advantage of. And the quintessential representative of these ideals was the yuppie. Yuppie, which is short for either young urban professional or young upwardly mobile professional, is used to describe a young professional working in a city. And while the term wasn't always viewed negatively, today yuppie has become synonymous with the vapid, greedy, and self-centered people that made exploiting people their business as they sunk ever further into decadent debauchery. While this story is ultimately a critique of many things, Bret wasn't some philosopher decrying the cruel nature of the modern world he lived in, who was writing his novel from an outside perspective. No. Bret, though to a much tamer degree, once considered himself to be a man much like Patrick Bateman. Here's what he had to say during an interview with Jeff Baker of The Oregonian when talking about the main character of his first novel. I have to say the same thing about Patrick Bateman. He was crazy the same way. He did not come out of me sitting down and wanting to write a grand sweeping indictment of yuppie culture. It initiated because of my own isolation and alienation at a point in my life. I was living like Patrick Bateman. I was slipping into a consumerist kind of void that was supposed to give me confidence and make me feel good about myself, but just made me feel worse and worse and worse about myself. That is where the tension of American Psycho came from. It wasn't that I was going to make up this serial killer on Wall Street. High concept. Fantastic. It came from a much more personal place, and that's something that I've only been admitting in the last year or so. I was so on the defensive because of the reaction to that book that I wasn't able to talk about it on that level. Bret has said that his father was an inspiration as well, as he apparently at one point had many of the traits that Patrick has, which makes it even more personal. Now what this brings to mind is something that I've talked about a few times in previous videos, including my original Patrick Bateman video. The idea that thinking evil thoughts doesn't necessarily make a person evil. Actions do. At some point in all of our lives, even the saintliest among us, we've all had a violent or negative thought that we would recognize as being evil in hindsight. And the vast majority of us don't act on those thoughts because typically, they're born out of some kind of in-the-moment frustration. If you're like most people, if you thought back to a time when you had one of these thoughts just now, chances are what popped into your head was relatively tame. However, there are many of us whose thoughts are sicker than people would assume. But unless they're...
Nah, let's be honest, bro. We all like think about something crazy. But then we be like, nah, 'cause that just wouldn't be right. That's what we think. We think like, oh, you know, it's just a spur of the moment thing. And it's mainly intrusive, really. It's mainly intrusive. Not that you actually want to do it. Like, oh, what if I like spinning back kick this grandma? I don't want to do it, but I'm like, oh, like what if I did do that? But like, you're not even thinking of doing it. Now the people that do be thinking of doing it, because there is people like that. I don't know if they need psychiatric help or it's that a lot of people, they let their thoughts control them, and of course if you're doing stuff like that, hitting people, doing crimes, that's to a higher extent. But thoughts, they come from frequencies. Not to get into narcissism, but like frequencies, which be explained as good and bad spirits. Good and bad spirits that lower your frequency. Demonic spirits. We all have them in our head. We all have them, and we all deal with them. But it's our choice that we, because our nature is flawed. Our nature is flawed. Our nature is dark. If we don't tame it though, if we don't tame it with the grace of God, and that could easily take over your mind, easily, as it did for thousands of years of human history. But that's our choice though. That's our choice. And some people, they fall into it. Some people, you know, they look to the Lord. They follow Christ. And I think it's more black and white than we think. Because when you look at the good things in life, it probably has something to do with the Ten Commandments and the fact that someone's following them. Like when you look at charity, when you look at you know, inventions like medicine, they're probably followed the Ten Commandments. And even if they were atheists, like even atheists, they would agree that you should probably follow outline of the Ten Commandments. That's where a lot of people that's where we get our morals from, especially in the West. So, I just, food for thought, Yeah, Christ is king, man. Christ is risen. Christos and Nestes, brother. No, what the hell, bruh? That was crazy. What?
Nigeria, the little sights and smells. That's because typically, when you had... There are many of us whose thoughts are sicker than people would assume, but unless they're non-stop fantasies that will eventually translate into action, they're still just thoughts, and they're only slightly less normal than the ones that most people have. Interestingly enough, there are plenty of authors and artists out there who are haunted by the darkest thoughts you can imagine, and believe it or not, that's a good thing, as far as storytelling goes at least, as genres like the horror genre wouldn't exist without people who tell these brutal stories.
Exactly.
Now, you don't need to strictly be a person who thinks about horrible things out of the blue to create a horror story, as you can be inspired to do so by hearing an account of, or experiencing some real-world horrors that caused you to come up with your idea, which brings me to my next point. When writing a story, there are two different ways to write once you have an idea. Either you write from experience, or you write based off of research you conducted specifically for the story you're trying to tell. In practice, most stories are written using a mixture of both, and depending on the type of story you're trying to tell, you're inevitably going to lean into one more so than the other. But when you're writing a story that takes place in the modern day, writing from experience typically has an edge as far as authenticity and feel is concerned. For example, I'm sure I could write a story set in modern Nigeria, and with a heavy amount of research done about Nigerian history, culture, and society, and perhaps some help from some Nigerians that I'd interviewed, I could probably write a decent book, but it wouldn't have that extra bit of detail that would naturally flow from someone who experienced living in Nigeria, the little sights and smells that I've never experienced, the subtleties of the language and cultural norms, and so on. This is part of what makes the story of American Psycho so impactful. The fact that you're reading or watching something that wasn't just a good idea someone had, but what they actually experienced. With embellishments, of course. You're seeing Patrick behave in ways that Brett once behaved. The people Patrick converses with are echoes of people that Brett has met. And the horrid things that Patrick does are derived from thoughts that Brett has thought. While the evil we find within this story is rather exaggerated, the most horrifying thing about it all is that it's not far off from reality, and so neither is Patrick Bateman. In my first video on American Psycho, I said I wouldn't be delving into the themes and messaging of this story too much, but to understand fully who Patrick Bateman is, I believe it's important that we do so this time around. So now, we're going to start breaking down Patrick's character according to the many themes he and his story represent, and we'll start with one that you'll find to be familiar if you've been watching my videos for some time: the impact a young person's environment and the people around them have on their development. One of the greatest avenues you can take when trying to decipher how a person became evil is to look through their backstory to determine what influenced them to become villains and monsters. But as far as a backstory for Patrick is concerned, there isn't much to go off of in American Psycho. This isn't really too much of an issue, as it's more so the aspects of the world he occupies as an adult that have made Patrick into the horror show that he is. But still, it's nearly impossible for someone to develop into the type of person Patrick is without having experienced some sort of turmoil in their youth. So is there anything that indicates in the story that Patrick may have had some help from those around him in becoming who he is? Yes, there is. Like I said a moment ago, we aren't given too much in American Psycho about Patrick's background, but we are given enough to make a few inferences about what his life was like before we met him. And fortunately for us, Patrick and his family actually appear in a few other stories that offer us some more insight into his character, as Patrick and American Psycho are a part of Bret Easton Ellis's literary universe, which is comprised of the books and films Less Than Zero, The Rules of Attraction, The Informers, Glamorama, Lunar Park, Imperial Bedrooms, and The Shards. Aside from American Psycho, Patrick is only featured in 3 of these books, those being The Rules of Attraction, Glamorama, and Lunar Park, with Lunar Park being a mixture of fiction and reality that we can't really factor into his character. However, The Rules of Attraction features Patrick's brother Sean as one of the main characters, and we receive the most insight into Patrick's family in this story. In the American Psycho film, we learn that Patrick went to Harvard, and the only mention we receive of his family is that his father owns the company he works for. The book gives us slightly more detail. Patrick went to a fictional school called Exeter before he went to Harvard. Rather than just the one time his father is mentioned, Patrick's father is mentioned several times, mostly in passing like in the film. His mother is sick with some unknown illness and resides at a care facility called Sandstone. It's possible that her illness is mental in nature, as in Rules of Attraction, Sean remarks that their mother was sent away to Sandstone by their father 2 months prior to a dinner they were having. And when Patrick says things are worse at Sandstone to Sean when he calls him in the American Psycho novel, Sean responds by saying, "Like what? Mom ate her pillow?" Which suggests that she's not all there. Now in the film, when Evelyn mentions that his father practically owns the company, Patrick says he doesn't want to talk about it. And in the novel, every time his family is mentioned, he also doesn't want to talk about it. While this is enough to tell us that Patrick comes from a rich family and was likely ignored by his parents and raised by servants, there is a bit more for us to go off of. In the novel, the only time Patrick's father is mentioned outside of referring to him as partial owner of P&P is when Patrick goes to visit his mother at Sandstone. Patrick notes a photo of his father when he was a younger man on his mother's bedside table, and outside of commenting on what he's wearing, the only thing Patrick has to say about him is that there's something wrong with his eyes in this picture. This could have just been an instance of Patrick's psychosis shining through, something we'll be talking about a lot later on, but perhaps this suggests that just like Patrick, there's something wrong with his father on a deeper level that had an effect on the man Patrick matured into. In The Rules of Attraction, we learn from Sean's inner thoughts that their father was quite the ladies' man, which suggests that he frequently cheated on his wife, a habit he seems to have passed on to his sons. Other than this bit of information though, the only thing we learn about Patrick's father here is that he at some point fell ill with a disease that was considered terminal, though we never learn whether or not he survived it. While Patrick was present at the hospital his father was housed at, we never see Patrick interacting directly with his father, but we do have a short 3-page chapter where Patrick goes to visit his mother. When he's there, she's heavily sedated, and their conversation doesn't veer past her asking what he wants for Christmas, her observation that he looks unhappy, and some small talk about how a party Patrick attended went. Patrick does note though that his mother is wearing a nightgown and slippers that he bought for her last Christmas, which might indicate that she favors Patrick in some
Hold on, so this is a book? Oh, wait, hold on. So I'm guessing this was a book before it was a movie. The book probably go crazy because everyone says books is always better than movies, but I don't read books though. I should though.
And the fact that Patrick is even visiting his mother indicates to us that he perhaps has a more loving relationship with her than he does with the other members of his family. But considering their conversation is as superficial as most of his other conversations are with people, whatever tenderness lay between the two must be on the decline. What also supports this notion is something Patrick says to Sean in Rules of Attraction, as he comments to Sean that it's about time when he learns that their mother has been sent to Sandstone during a dinner they were having. And if it weren't for the fact that Patrick actually made the effort to visit his mother, I'd say that's enough evidence to suggest that he doesn't care much for her. Even with his visitation though, it's possible that he doesn't care for her anyway, and he was just doing what he needed to do in order to one day secure whatever inheritance she had planned for him, as one of the tactics that Patrick was supposed to use to convince his brother to come to dinner with him in the American Psycho novel was to tell him that there was an issue with their mother's estate, which is something that Patrick might have also been worried about, causing him to visit his mother to stay in her good graces. As far as his brother goes, there are some things that occur between the two in both novels in regard to their relationship that we can use to further understand Patrick. The Bateman family seems to have lived in several different places over the years, as in either American Psycho or Rules of Attraction. There's mention of their father's suite in New York, their grandfather's home in Connecticut, a family home in Newport, Rhode Island, and a house in Larchmont, New York. The only real evidence we have of what their childhood was like is a photo their mother has in their room at Sandstone of the two unsmiling brothers when they were younger, and then this passage in Rules of Attraction, where Sean is trying to recall any memories he has of his time spent growing up in Larchmont. I went by the house in Larchmont late last night. It was for sale. Harold still lives in back. My MG was still mercifully kept in one of the garages, but my room upstairs was empty, and most of the furniture from the house had been removed and taken someplace I forgot to ask about. The house itself was locked up, and I had to break in through one of the French windows in back. The house still seems enormous, even larger to me now than when I was growing up in it, but there hadn't been much time spent in the house. School was at Andover. Holidays were usually spent elsewhere. The house brought back few, almost no memories to me. The ones I had, weirdly enough, included Patrick, playing in the snow with him on the front lawn, which seemed to stretch out for miles, getting high and playing ping pong with him in the rec room. There was the pool no one was allowed to swim in, and the rules about no noise. That was all I could dredge up, since that place was a transient's home for me. So like most sibling relationships, Sean and Patrick's had its ups and downs, but at some point in time, the downs defined their relationship more than the ups did, and that might have to do with the pretty stark differences between the two brothers. Sean is a wannabe bohemian turned drug dealer, who's as irresponsible as Patrick is brutal. Sean has deviated from his family's plans for him, and though he's not nearly as unhinged as Patrick, he has several issues that make him a less than desirable person. In the Rules of Attraction, it's heavily implied that Patrick looks down on his brother as a loser druggy burnout, who he's going to be saddled with once his father dies. And though he tries to convince Sean to care more about the situation with his father and his direction in life, Sean could care less, and Patrick resents him all the more for it. Despite this, there's evidence to suggest that Patrick in part hates his brother because he's envious of him. At different points in American Psycho, Patrick is referred to as a dork, and while he's as good-looking and well-dressed as anyone else, there's just something about Patrick that isn't quite good enough to be considered the hippest man on the scene, which could be attributed to the fact that Patrick tries way too hard to fit in, and when you're trying to be something that you aren't, or place an inordinate amount of care on something, people notice. This is something that bothers Patrick on a deep level, and part of the reason why that could be, outside of the fact that he wants to be considered cool and fit in, is because their younger brother seems to have more influence in their world, and is more likable than Patrick is. Sean only appears in one chapter in the American Psycho book, when he and Patrick are getting together to celebrate his birthday, which is also meant to double as a discussion about what Sean has been up to, as requested by his father's accountant, and the trustee of his estate, as it would appear that Sean marches to the beat of his own drum, and isn't in contact with his family much. In the run-up to this, Patrick explains how he despises his brother, and that his brother despises him as well. And just like Patrick, Sean doesn't seem to care for his parents either. The biggest difference between Sean and Patrick, though, is that Sean seems to have a laissez-faire attitude towards life in general. One of the struggles Patrick has throughout American Psycho is that unlike some of his other friends and associates, Patrick
Oh, MBs.
is
I'm
unable to get
tripping.
into the fabled Dorsia, the restaurant to
Yo,
end all
what's good with
restaurants
me?
that only the most privileged and hip get into. Not only is Sean able to get them into Dorsia by speaking to the owner, but Sean could care less about the place, to the point that he doesn't even eat the food that he orders, which happens to be the most expensive dishes on the menu. And while they're there, we learn that Sean, unlike Patrick, doesn't really care about any of the superficial aspects of Patrick's world. Patrick cares about the clothes people wear. Sean does not. Patrick fawns over women. Sean could care less about them, even the ones that come onto him. Patrick tries his best to be as cool as he can be. Sean is simply just existing in the space and letting his natural personality carry him through life. In short, Patrick has to try and be the man that he thinks he wants to be, while all of those things come naturally to Sean. And because he's his younger brother, I'm sure the fact that Sean is more likable and well-respected than he is has significantly impacted Patrick's self-esteem. The last bit of information I have to share with you about Patrick's childhood comes from a website containing emails from Patrick that he writes long after the story is concluded. And though it's debatable whether or not these emails are canon, what little Patrick says about his childhood here is very much in line with what we've discussed so far. It's very hard to say no to your child. I was told either yes, or my request was met with a stony silence that I understood to mean no. There was not much communication growing up in the Bateman household, as it never existed in the first place. I never missed it. It just wasn't there. Now, while what we've gone through about Patrick's family and childhood wasn't too substantial, knowing that Patrick has a superficial and close to non-existent relationship with his parents, a bad relationship with a brother he's envious of, and that his childhood was probably decadent, but emotionally disconnected, is enough to clue us in on how Patrick began his tenure in the wild world of 1980s Wall Street, and why he's so desperate to fit in and establish himself as one of the who's who of the who's who. But as much as this confirms a lot of things about Patrick's character that would have otherwise been left to speculation, and while it is important in understanding what drove Patrick to be the crazed yuppie he is, as I said earlier, it's really what he's been exposed to as an adult that made Patrick into who he is. Which brings us...
It's good, Buna Martinez. Stream's going great. Just getting some lore on American Psycho. I didn't even know Patrick Bateman had a brother. I stream, I would say 5 to 6 days a week. So almost daily, but not quite. Yeah. Appreciate if you drop the follow. Hobbies, I train boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, yeah. I love UFC for sure. I love MMA, and I love Fallout. Fallout is Fallout Skyrim, all of that. I'm from New York City.
Us to the next theme that I'd like to discuss with you: the destructive and corrupting aspects of
Thank you.
consumerism, materialism, and capitalism in its most extreme form. Capitalistic systems have to date been responsible for making the modern world into the marvel of technological progress and increased quality of life that has improved the lives of billions of people. Though that might be true, there's nothing in this world that doesn't have some sort of downside, or many downsides to it. And American Psycho and Patrick Bateman...
Yeah, I love Fallout, I love Skyrim. I love, now I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077, so, that's good as well. Yeah, I love RPGs is my thing.
Every downside to capitalism, and they all stem from one glaring issue with it, that in its purest and unchecked form, the only thing that matters is profits. Without regulations and laws, there are natural exploitative practices that manifest in capitalist systems due to profits being a business person or business owner's primary concern when conducting business, while everything else is secondary. As much as it would be nice to live in a perfect world where everyone conducted their business in the most moral ways possible, that simply does not happen. This is why, in the United States at least, we have things like child labor laws, antitrust laws, and environmental protection laws, because if you don't say someone can't do something, chances are they're going to do it, especially if they're going to make money off it. While various laws and regulations have made great strides in curbing the injustices that come as a byproduct of capitalism, there are plenty of things that are done in the name of profits that seem harmless, but severely impact the well-being of not just those being exploited, but the exploiters. And that's no more apparent than in the overglorification.
I didn't even know I didn't follow me. Let me see something. Cloud error. What is a cloud error? What's the error? Trusting. Bet. Sure. No, yeah, I'm not in the market for that, but yeah, you could check my Discord. Boom. That's it right there. Put it in the chat. Yeah, it's good. Load. Damn.
Go ahead.
It's been a while since I played this. Damn. Let me turn this down a little bit. Why it's not showing I'm not jacking the way it's like showing up on my screen. I forgot even the controls, bruh. Okay, bet. Options, controls, 0 is to, okay, mouse to use, spacebar activate, F ready, R magic, C left control, control, run left shift, boom.
I have you.
My bad, bro.
Your wounds are great.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
I gotta fix this. Let me see how that change anything? Bro, I didn't change anything, bro. Let me see. I'm trying to see what this left click. Prometheus. Bad. Alright. So this game gives you no like freaking what? Speaking Spanish? Controls. Use, yeah. Activate space bar. How to interact with something. Space bar. Okay, so that's okay, bet. Okay, so space bar is how you interact with people. And things. What is this? Okay. Damn, I ain't got no likes. Like that. Bet.
Oh, God.
Alright. So,
Let's get this over with quickly.
okay. Options. What's the controls again? How to run. Left shift. Okay. Huh? Huh? Is that battle music? I'm not ready for that. Oh my, Dark Elf? Ooh! My God. My God. Yo, this is what I don't know what. Excuse me? Give me that. Thank you. because that happened, I'm going the right way. I remember I went in this town. Oh my, what the hell is that? Brother, what the hell is that? Where is that? Don't give me on. Another one. Let's go. Brother, what? Did he just freeze me? I gotta figure out these controls. Alright, so right there. See that? Okay, yeah, tripped out. Cool. Wait, no, what? No.
Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Bro, okay. The fact that that is a button is retarded. That was freaking retarded. Why is that a button? Stupid button, bro. Oh, that was gonna be a new save. Yup. Yup. I'm gonna get done up. That's what it is. That's what it is. Come on. Come on, they sure. They can't handle me. They sure. They can't handle me. Come on. Pop up. Oh wow. Okay, wow. Yeah. Over. Like that. Okay, not new, safe. Oh no, it's a op. I know it's a op. It's a op. I know it's a op. It's a op.
It's about time I had some fun.
Damn. You take a punch. Let's see if that'll go different. R. And how do I use magic? I'm probably get smashed. I'm not gonna lie.
I have the upper hand.
Okay, one more try. Maybe I should skip that. Who knows?
I'm not giving up that easy. Run while you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna just skip that. I don't want no smoke. I'm cool. I don't want no beef. I'm a vegan. I'm cool. I'm cool on that, bro. I'm cool on that. I'm a pacifist. I'll stick to non-humans. fault. My brother in Christ, I can't understand none of this. That's a big crab. I'm not being that thing. Oh, let's get that thing. Big boss not here, man. Man, creature answered me. Except that wasn't. Yeah, I'm actually like that. Don't get me wrong, but hey, I'm actually like that, bro. Oh my goodness. Yo. I'm actually like that, bro. I'm actually like that. Now, if the rat do me like that, then like, bro, then like, what's in here, man? I'll be right back. But I don't even think, I'll be right back. Still moving devious. The piece I think
It's
I'm
about time I
okay. Brother, you. So don't go there. Got it. Got it. That's that. That was fun though. That was fun. That was fun. Let me see how my rumble going. It's going better on the Rumble stream for some reason. I feel like, bro. I want to install Vegas again. I want to. I was having a good time. It was just freezing my computer, but I feel like I don't know now. Maybe it'll run better. Who knows? Cyberpunk. Oh, part 4. Okay. banging it, banging it, banging it, banging it. Hey. Alright.
Occasion of materialism.
Let's be honest. I'm just being honest. I'm putting on my number 9. I'm putting on my number 9. But being honest. Russia. Ooh, we can name one. What is this?
Today, and I wanted to say, like, I want to react to your video tonight. I want to bring her on, but yeah, she was kind of, I guess she knew who I was, whatever. All right, let's play.
You better be celibate for the remainder of the year. Because even if you guys aren't in a committed relationship, all women love little sweet somethings.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And if he doesn't have enough common sense to say, let me go to Trader Joe's and maybe get her some $12 flowers at the minimum, you have no responsibility giving that man that box. Okay? Common sense would tell him to get you some chocolate or something. You know, some women like video games. Get me a video game. Get me a new controller. Different women like different things. He knows exactly what you like. He knows what you're into because he be inside you. Do not allow a man to act like Valentine's Day is only for relationships. If he's intimate with you, he should be able to comprehend to get her a little sweet something for Valentine's Day. Now, if you allow it to not be that way because you're like, oh, I don't care about Valentine's Day. No, all women care. We all care, especially from the right guy. We all care, but we'll use a coping mechanism. Oh, I don't care about Valentine's.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is retarded. It's just consumerism on steroids, just like Christmas. And Christmas isn't even what Christmas was intended to be, to celebrate the life of Jesus, the birth of Jesus. But corporations just sold the Santa Claus sold Valentine's like it's retarded goy slop. Honestly, if you celebrate Valentine's Day unironically, like just like if you're married, cool. You know, if you just want to do something for your spouse. But if you celebrate Valentine's Day, all the chocolates, that's that destroys your health. Get all the candies, get all the bears, like it's retarded.
All live a better life on the earth instead of just counting things.
Bro, you spit bullshit right now. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
Kumbaya.
Right, Jack?
Lamborghinis.
And Virgo and the yachts every fucking week.
Yeah, nice.
So you're telling me because
big boats.
We smashed one time, a couple times, you deserve a gift.
If you're continuously, like if you're smashing in between February 1st and February 30th, 28th,
Stupid.
Where's Myron?
then you should be getting gifts.
All right, let me ask you a real question. Everybody's been thinking about it. How many yachts have you been on?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like 5.
5 yachts?
Don't lie to me.
Maybe.
Alright, bro. Cool with that. He loved Charles, bro. Che. I already saw the stream.
You look like 26, 7.
Thank you.
How old are you?
Old.
Old? How many? Old.
I'm 37.
Are you serious? 37?
Mm-hmm.
So, I woke up this morning and noticed that the odds makers actually currently have Charles Oliveira as the underdog versus Max
As
Holloway.
it should.
That really surprised me. It surprised me because I do feel like, stylistically, I don't think one in good conscience could really favor Max Holloway strongly at all. I just think that there are a number of key factors that, when you look at this fight, just in a fair and unbiased way,
I can't wait till he knocks out Charles.
Max Holloway is gonna struggle with. So, what I wanted to do today was something very special.
I can't wait.
What we're gonna do is watch a few Max Holloway fights together, and truthfully, I just don't feel like anyone could get. You can get halfway through this video, get to the 20-minute mark. I don't believe you could be picking Max Holloway to win this fight, and that's not to take anything away from Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway is a phenomenal fighter. I think that he's just a great guy all around, but I do think, with a fair and unbiased review of a number of his fights, I think the answer becomes very clear to how this fight is most likely going to play out. So I thought we'll do that together now. All right, starting off, we're going to take a look at Max versus Volkanovski 2. Now, a lot of people tend to lean towards the notion that this fight was a robbery, and I've never, ever.
Yeah, I never got that.
Let's see what we got here. Now,
Volk 1, 2,
people think that Max
3,
Holloway's
4, and 5.
really good
3,
fighter.
4, and 5.
They think he's really good. I don't know about that. I mean, listen, looking at this fucking spinning...
What is this?
I mean, it's just like, what? That wasn't good. That wasn't good. Nothing on that at all. In terms of being, a Taekwondo prodigy, I'm not seeing that. Max eats the jab right there. Eats another huge jab right there. Max's defense just isn't there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't. And also, too, I want you guys just to look at the frame of Max Holloway. To me, it's very soy. To me, it's very weak. It's very estrogen.
All right, bro. He's
it's
rage
not
baited.
good. I mean, what was that? What was this? What the fuck was this? What? Huh? That was nothing. That was more zesty than anything else. Again, Max right now, I think the biggest problem he's facing right now, at least from what I'm seeing, is come on, you guys. What are we dealing with here? This is a broken man. Look at this. Look at that. And you're telling me he's the favorite over Charles Oliveira?
Oh my goodness, bro.
Look how red
Shut up.
his leg is. I want you guys to just look at that. It's like
How many fights ago was this?
That's how red it is. I mean, that's really embarrassing. But I mean, listen, I don't want to judge Max too harshly or anything, but he's doing really awful. I mean, Volk has just been dictating the pace of this entire fight. Look at that again. Max misses every single shot.
This doesn't even fight like this
trying to
anymore.
stop Volkanovski down, but Volk, you can tell that Volk is a man, and Max Holloway is not one. Max Holloway is not a man. Max Holloway is a boy. He's a very scared boy.
Yo, bro, it's
you can just see it
stupid,
in
bro.
his mannerisms. You see it in how he's carrying himself. I mean, look at how Volkanovski rolls with that punch right there. Look at this. Oh, look at that. That is very Canelo-esque, the way he just rolls, moves with it, It's super nice, super clean. He has Max's number on every single exchange. Look how it makes Max run into that lead hand right there. Max tries to go overhand off the jab, but it didn't work because Max did not believe in himself there. That is very important. Truthfully, I think it's all about just confidence.
It's been a while since I watched the second Volk and Max fight, actually.
Out on ever since, his entire career has more or less fallen off. And I think in general, I mean, you see that right there. Look at how he just misses every single shot right here. Look at this. So Volkanovski lands a huge leg kick right there. He tries to go uppercut, but look at how Volk just slides right out of the way.
I swear he hit Volk with that.
Beautiful. He takes a bad step
Yo,
there. But again, right?
Is he on drugs?
Listen. Again, I don't talk about this a lot, but I think a lot of you guys at this point are aware of the fact that there was a time in my life where you could consider me a very, very serious Taekwondo practitioner. I mean, I was gifted the title of prodigy by the World Taekwondo Federation. I know a thing or two about jump spinning back kicks, and what I'll tell you is this. What Max Holloway is doing right here, this is embarrassing. This is awful. Look at his foot placement. It never even lands. Volkanovski is asking to be kicked in the liver right here, and it just wasn't there, you guys. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Look at that. And look, he backs away and lets Volk off the hook, and this, again, I think is the fear emanating off of him. Again, it's just, look at
Bruh.
that. Look, Max is incapable of stopping this leg kick. Volkanovski, beautiful double underhooks, too easy on that takedown. You know, there's this weird notion that Max Holloway knows how to grapple. I'm unconvinced clearly. So he gets the double underhooks. Right here, Max should be trying to defend, right? And right now, he's doing anything but. He just allows his leg here. Nice little inside trip right here. Volkanovski.
Bro, it was a
takes him down.
striking
And
fight,
just
bro.
look at
He
the
didn't.
bewilderment on Max's face right here.
Volk
That's what
mixed
you're
in the
seeing right here. You're
takedowns
seeing a man who
when Max
wasn't
Doyle was
expecting
striking.
this. You're seeing a man who just got hit with a technique that he didn't truly understand existed until this point. And now Volkanovski, again, Volkanovski himself's not that phenomenal of an offensive wrestler, but he's dominating Max Holloway here. He steps over to mount real easily, allows Max to get back up, because obviously he wants to keep attacking that inside leg. So he's going to allow Max to get back up, which is a great strategy. Max has yet to land anything
Allow him.
significant this
Alright, bro.
entire fight so far. Like literally nothing. Beautiful feint by Volkanovski. Look at that. And look at how Volk, again, he has a really nice feint right here. Look at his feint, right? It baits Max into throwing. So Volk is going to slip to the outside. Huge right hand. It's really beautiful. Huge jab from Volkanovski. Really slow, really telegraphed kick right here from Max. Look at how there's just nothing on that at all. Max decides to be bad at fighting. I mean, so far what I'm seeing, again, huge inside leg kick. And look at how Volk times it right as Max steps in. Oh!
Glazing, bro.
Really nice
I like Volk,
stuff
bro,
by
but he's
Volkanovski.
just
What you're
glazing
seeing
Volk and
here is
ain't
a
no Max.
man fight a child. And again, people think this fight's a robbery, but look at that.
I didn't think it was a robbery,
beautiful
though.
on that single right there, and again decides to let it go so we can keep it on the feet. It's very important just to get that idea into his head. You know what I mean? And another really nice slip on this uppercut right here. So Max believes an uppercut is open because he has Volk leaning back with his chin up in the air, which isn't a great thing generally. But Volkanovski knows what he's doing because Max goes uppercut, and look at that. Look at how Volk just slides right away with it. Very beautiful stuff here from Volkanovski. Huge left-right from Volk. Look at this. It is normal for a taller, rangier fighter right here. So it's almost like a pull counter. You know what I mean? It's almost like a pull counter. The problem is, though, you have to be a good boxer to land a clean pull counter. And, you know, somehow Max, again, he's too stubby. His arms are too short. And so far, Max is getting dominated everywhere. And again, you got to understand, the Volkanovski is not Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, way larger, way girthier, just a lot more meat on his bones these days. Again, Max, you know, there's really nothing here, you know. There's nothing. That was nothing.
Not even half his skills Volk on the feet.
Round 5, again, it's been nothing but domination from Volkanovski so far. Again, he's landing that inside leg kick so clean. Max, you know, look at that. I mean, what is this? What is this? This is, you know, listen. There was way back in the day, there was a fatal error that Charles Oliveira made against Islam Makhachev of stepping into range with a flying knee and then landing, getting, you know, hit with a lead hook. Obviously, we all remember that. It was probably the only, I would say, it's the only stain on Oliveira's legacy that he made that little mistake. Well, look who's making that mistake right here. Somebody who the fans perceive as a better striker, who clearly isn't. Because what you're doing a little hopscotch flying knee into range with nothing. Look, he just lands. There's nothing there, and then Volk cracks him with a lead hook right there. Did you see that? Cracks him with it. Again, Max loves this overhand over the jab, but the problem is he sucks. Look at this. Look at how out of position he is. Look at it. Stare at it. How is this guy the favorite in this fight? How? This is just ridiculous. Nothing there. I mean, literally nothing there. Look, Max does not land a single shot right here. Really huge miss on the uppercut, even though Volk is the one out of position right here. He's still... Nothing on that head kick either. Nothing on that head kick. Huge jab from Volkanovski. Beautiful feints. Volk's face looks practically untouched, which is crazy for a fight that's supposed to be a robbery. Oh, big jab from Volk. And again, Volk just daddying him in the clinch right here. That's what he's doing. He's daddying him in the clinch. I mean, look at this. Completely has, like, he's crunching the overhooks on Max's arms. Huge, and he lets Max go on purpose. like Max gets the double unders, Volk let him get the double unders, and you see that because as they disengage Max, like this is no defense, this is nothing. You can't just stand there in front of your opponent like a fucking jabroni, you know, and just gets fucking eaten with that huge right hand right there. It's really poor, really. Oh, and just Volk can't miss with his jabs because Max Holloway. It's a fact that he fights like a fucking bobblehead. What you're seeing here, in my professional opinion, is Max Holloway wilt. You kind of see it. Max Holloway doesn't believe he can win at this point. Again, Max Holloway is bad. That's the main takeaway I want you guys to take from this fight so far, is that we're seeing somebody who's perceived to be good, but again, what has he done this entire fight? We've been watching this entire fight, and what has he done? He hasn't done anything. This has been 100% Volkanovski. Again, I don't want to be mean, but this is so bad, and he's not doing really.
Yeah, bro, this dude's he trying, bro. He trying. Turns on.
Boom! So SmackDown on Valentine's Day Friday was complete trash, goon bait content. All right, every single segment for the first hour, more than an hour to be honest, was just goon bait trash. All right, okay. Lash Legend, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton just getting cheap pops. Is Tiffany, get the hell out of here, dude. Then all of a sudden, Rio comes out. They start hugging again. Just come on, all right. This is what we're getting on Valentine's Day, guys. Now, at first, I was like, it's just goon bait content. I'm not even gonna watch. And then I'm like, oh shoot, it was actually pretty decent, dude. The spots were very action packed. Rhea Ripley powerbombing Nia Jax. Them going through the table. Them going through the fucking barricade. Very cool shit. It basically resulted into like a double KO situation. I don't know what that was, but anyways, Cody Rhodes, he's backstage here. He's getting interviewed. Man, honestly, his promos are just word salads. Okay, he just says a bunch of shit. I don't know what the fuck he said. Nothing really stuck with me. Anyways, speaking of being stuck, okay, what the hell is Matt Cardona doing backstage? Like, he's being friends with Apollo? When has this friendship bloomed? Right? What type of island or party have they attended together, dude? Anyways, Carmelo Hayes, he destroys The Miz again, dissing him into oblivion. It's pretty sad. And then Matt Cardona, he tries to get some more TV time. He's like, he's trying to play like the grammar police, like lame as hell. What the fuck are we doing with him?
Bruh.
Boom! So SmackDown on Valentine's Day dissing him into oblivion. It's pretty sad. And then Matt Cardona, he tries to get some more TV time. He's like, he's trying to play like the grammar police, like lame as hell. What the fuck are we doing with him? Okay. Anyways, Aleister Black and Zelina, they're seen again here, just cutting this dark metaphysical bullshit. Zelina just rubbing up on his arm like, come on, Karrion Kross can do much better. Okay, Scarlett can do much better. They ripped them off. And nobody fucking buys it. That's the thing. Nobody gives a shit about Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. Okay, anyways, Carmelo Hayes, he comes out, cuts a great promo. I'm pretty sure this is like his hometown or something. If it's not, my mistake. Okay, he's getting crazy pops that he usually doesn't get. Anyways, he's like, the open challenge is not open for today. I need to grant this match to one man only. Jackson from Hannah, Montana. He comes out, right? Don't know why he's wearing fur and shit. Like, who gave that to him in the back? Anyways, at MFTs, they come out. Oh, shit, right? Solo Sikoa, he's trying to get his name in the hat. Trying to compete right here. And he doesn't get the shot. What happens is Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, they start talking shit back. They're like, yeah, you guys are trash. You guys are ass. The MFTs, they step in, they start jumping them, dude. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then Matt Cardona and Apollo Crews, they easily get stomped out, too. Then Shinsuke Nakamura, right? He's the game changer. Look, he's just destroying people in his way. Come on. then Nick Aldis, he sets up a fucking 5-man Texas tag match or whatever. Didn't watch this, okay? Didn't watch this trash. At the end here, we see the MFTs again staring off with Uncle Howdy. Who the hell's gonna watch this, dude? Like, honestly, is
It's
this
like
what
a
we're
knockout
building
Bray
up to
Wyatt.
again for WrestleMania? Anyways, oh my God, Andrade, you messed up. I'll just say that, okay? Andrade, what the hell did you do? Okay, what did you do? You could have just called me or something, dude. Anyways, we had these guys in the back. Kid Wilson just reading a poem. He's like, "Oh, toxic. Obafemi's toxic. You're toxic." All this shit. Honestly, I'm over it. I'm over this Kid Wilson hype. Give this guy an actual fucking storyline, dude. Anyways, Jesus Christ. Again, Andrade, you messed up. Okay, then Zelina Vega, she's doing some weird goon bait type of pose in the middle of the ring. Just trash, right? This is ass. Okay, Zelina can't wrestle. She's she's overcompensating with doing these spots, right, where she's just like overly, overtly trying to goon bait. Come on, right? Alexa wins. Anyways, we had this Tiffany Stratton and Jordan Grace backstage. And then we had the only women's wrestler who doesn't goon bait and who actually has talent, Chelsea Green, man. She comes out, right? Boom, she's on her pink throne wheelchair. It's pretty funny, right? I like that. Anyways, Sami Zayn and Ray Phoenix, they're backstage here, trash. Okay, Ray Phoenix is like, "Oh yeah, I feel bad for you, man." Sami's like, "Don't feel bad for me, man. Get the hell out." Okay, what am I watching? What am I watching? Anyways, Triple H comes out, the aura of a superstar, the aura of a fucking blockbuster megastar WrestleMania main eventer. Okay, everybody's just on his jack, dude. Well, that Trick, I'm sold on Trick Williams, guys. I don't know about you guys. This guy is superstar level, ready to main event WrestleMania. Okay, if it was me, I would choose him to replace Braun Breaker in the Vision. Right, make this guy the leader, some shit. He's just ready in every single facet. The guy's ready on the mic, in the ring. There's no weakness with this guy, right? If you guys think there's a weakness, name it down below. I'm curious to actually hear. Anyways, Ray Phoenix, he comes out, gets his ass squashed. This is a jobber, right? Like, what are we doing with Ray Phoenix? Okay, who gave him high hopes in this company? Okay, Triple Friday, you definitely pissed him. Not pissed him off. You fucking scammed it, dude. Anyways, Rio and these guys, Julia and Kiana, they have some dialogue here. Then Jade Cargill, boom, she comes along, just silently passes through with aura. Okay, Jade Cargill and Chelsea Green, they're the only talented people on the roster, straight up, right? Everyone else just goon bait trash. Okay. Anyway, she comes out, right? It's like, "I'm the champion. I'm the WWE champion." Boom. Oh shit, high-fiving this gooner. Nope. Fucking pulls her hand away. Get your ass out of here. Alright? Anyways, yeah. Okay, she raises the belt and shit. Just looking cool. Honestly. Then we had this jobber. Come on. She looks like a creative fucking wrestler, dude. She looks like a My-Rise default number 7. Fuck out of here, dude. Then Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, they come out. They get a pop of a lifetime. Boos from all angles of the building. Right? And they have this set up right here. Basically, they entertain the crowd. They have the chicken nuggets set up. Honestly, I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over the Dom and Liv type of thing. They need to break up. They need to do something interesting because storyline-wise, what the fuck are we really getting? The same old segments. Oh, my gordita! What is Liv Morgan called, Dom? Right? Just I don't even know, man. Honestly, I'm just over it. It's old shit, dude. It's fucking 2026. Okay? Anyways, Jade Cargill, she basically stares him down. And I thought the show was going to be over. I'm like, oh shit. We have Fraxium now getting TV time. For what reason? I don't know. They're being shown here, feeling bad for Johnny Gargano. Holy shit, dude. This is the worst booking of all time. Triple H has just diverted his career into a humiliation ritual, dude. Okay, he's just here. Anyways, Drew McIntyre, right? He says oh, I don't want to face Jacob Fatu. I'm gonna put him behind the bars. And Sammy, he bumps into Drew. And Drew McIntyre's like, you know, I want you to win. As much as everybody, you know, sucks in that ring, I want you to win. You know, I remember that time you supported me and told me that I can win that WWE Championship. Anyways, the match plays out here. Jacob fought 2.
Alright. I'm out. See ya next time. As always, TVG No Touch Breach. Christ is risen. God bless.